the heart thing. You can feel it.
You can feel the heart here.
You know, when you come to Nebraska, though, I always wonder, how do you decide where to put the airport?
Yeah.
You can put it anywhere. It's all left.
This is, a lot of people don't, people are going to think I'm making this up, but you know corn was invented here. Before that, it was only 10 years ago. Warren Buffett did it. Are you regretting going on tour with me? Are you regretting going on tour with me?
I didn't hear one word you said.
Oh.
So, you're wondering, what are these guys doing? Why are these guys? Because we can do our own shows. We don't need each other. But we like each other. Jim and I love to go to clubs in New York City where we both live. And we work on our material and we talk about how we love to talk about comedy. We love to eat.
Yes.
You haven't seen much lately.
I tried to convince Jerry to have a runza. Some of it, as you may know, it's like you don't want to eat right before you do a show, and you probably don't want to eat something called runza.
I call it that because that's what it does to your system.
One person would say, obviously, this is unique to Nebraska, the runza, but we probably should change the name.
Right.
It's almost like, what's wrong with calling it the runza?
Well, there's a lot wrong with it, but so we hang out in New York all the time, and we thought, you know, what happens in comedy, when you start out in comedy, everybody goes to the same clubs every night, night after night. It takes a lot of work to learn how to do this very strange, obscure art that we love. So it takes you years to get good at it. And then when you get good and you start getting jobs and you start going out around the country and performing, you miss your friends. You become successful, but you're going to find this out. And so we said, well, why don't we just go together so we can be together and have fun? And that is the reason that we are doing shows together.
And we're still figuring this out, and it has been so fun. And you know, we have like-minded material, but like, you know, we're still figuring out the order. And you know, like, I think, what if we did our material at the exact same time?
If we do it at the exact same time, think of how much faster you can get out of it. But I don't know if that.
I think we should. Let's just this show will go at the same time.
Okay. So when you get on the plane,
Anyway, I was.
that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
It's faster, but it's hard to figure out what the joke is.
I should talk about first.
Okay, why don't you go? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my great friend, one of my favorite comedians. Please watch the spinning on movie his best fantastic new special, Jim Gaffigan.
Thank you so much! Omaha, it is so great to be here, to be back in Omaha. You know, here we are in January. A beautiful month. There is a certain amount of relief with January, right? Because you love the holidays, but at the end of the holidays, you're like, thank God that's over. But you love your family. You just don't want to see them anymore. There's always one person during the holidays, one family member that's planning the next family vacation. What are you doing tomorrow? We're busy. What are you doing in the summer? Not selling it. That's why all those holiday songs are about the beginning of Christmas. I'll be home for Christmas. If that song was written on December 26th, now I remember why I don't live here. These people are mentally ill. I must have been adopted. I travel every holidays with my children. I always go to the Midwest and then we go somewhere warm. That's what my wife wants. And I think, I always think it's going to get easier.
No.
I was like, well, the kids are in diapers, that'll be easy. And I don't know what the logic of these trips is. It's like, hey, you know how we all bicker and argue? Why don't we take this on the road? How would you like to ignore me in a hotel room? Maybe you should spend too much time on a phone in a warm place. I do these trips for my children, right? And I know that I do it for my children because during these trips we never do anything I want to do. Every day I'm like, what are we doing? Alright, let's do it. My kids, they have a blast. They have a blast. They're on vacation. I don't know what they're on vacation from. Can you be on vacation from 8th grade? My son goes from barely doing homework to doing nothing. Yes, he earned it. The cruelest thing is my kids, they think I'm on vacation. Wait, you're on vacation too? No. I'm an unpaid volunteer. See that lady? She's the cruise director. I'm an intern that can't be fired because I'm sleeping with the boss. During the family trip, my wife wants to fire me often. She goes, you're not good at this. I'm not. I'm not good at anything. But that's okay. It's great to be back here in Omaha. I remember there's a great cocktail bar here in Omaha. I don't know the name of it, but just put that in your pockets. It is fun to go back to cities after, multiple times. And sometimes you see cities change dramatically. Probably the most dramatic change in the city. And I mean this in the most positive sense, is Detroit. Now, if you don't know, Detroit has had a couple difficult half-centuries. But Detroit's made incredible progress, and that's ways to go. It has made incredible progress, and I performed there in November, and after the show, the opener and I were in an Uber on our way to dinner, and I was marveling at all the progress and advancement Detroit had made. And then suddenly we drove by a car that was on fire. And I'm not saying part of the car, it was engulfed in flames. And there was no sense of panic. There was no sirens. It was very startling. I looked at my Uber driver, he glanced over and sounded bored. It's kind of early for a car to be on fire. And I hesitated, but I was like, isn't that an issue? The car's filled with gasoline, won't it explode? And he looked at me like, I remember my first car on fire. Look at that. business. I started roaming around, people were serving entrees. There's probably an announcement. If you have the 2002 RAV4, got some good news and some bad news. The bad news is your car's on fire. But the good news is your table's ready. I'm wearing a blazer tonight, and I'll tell you why. Thank you. I'll tell you why I'm wearing a blazer. Because I respect your audience. Okay? That's one of the reasons. The other reason I'm wearing a blazer is to hide my man boobs. I look out in the audience and I see there's some guys who also have man boobs. Fellas, you gotta cover those up. Nobody needs to see them. Nobody wants to see them. Ladies, none of this applies to you. Don't ever let someone shame you for what God has created. You know, we are created in God's image. That would mean God has made us. You probably did that the day you rested. I wiped out 6 straight days. Let there be man boobs. What's interesting about my man boobs is they're like really more man boob jokes. Not like those initial ones kind of fell flat. What's interesting about my man boobs is you can only notice them when I wear certain clothing. Like if I wear a shirt that's made of fabric. Otherwise you can't. It did reach a point 2 weeks ago. I remember 2 weeks ago I was looking in the mirror and I was like, all right, that's it. I gotta do something about this. I'm gonna do planks. And then every day for the next 14 days without failure, what I did? Nothing. Then I put on a blazer and I was like, problem solved. Part of my fitness program, goodbye man boobs, hello blazer. Some of you are looking like, are these jokes weird or just gross? I don't have a fitness program. There's some people have intense fitness programs. You see these days. I get up at 4 a.m. and I work out. I get up at 4 a.m. Getting up early to work out seems like an odd thing to boast about. I get up at 4 a.m. You know what? I get up at 4 a.m. It is to pee, but well, that's also about commitment and an enlarged prostate. I don't want to brag, but more than one doctor has told me my prostate is big. Multiple doctors and one dentist, by the way. I gotta go to the dentist and look up the guy said, your prostate. Thanks. I get that a lot. I've been running at 4 a.m. And I gotta be honest, the last thing I want to do at 4 a.m. is get out of bed. And I do it because when I leave the bed, my wife was mad. I did it once. She's like, you're an alcoholic! It's called an enlarged prostate. Not an alcoholic, but I have started drinking bourbon. Started to drink bourbon. I don't know how long I can say started. It wasn't last week. But that sounds better than I've continued to drink bourbon. And I'll continue to drink it until all the bourbon's gone. By the way, you guys have to, there is a Nebraska bourbon called from Long Dog Distillery that you have to check out. You guys are like, is this a joke? But bourbon, and by the way, I don't drink bourbon every day, okay? It's just at night. And I only have 2. Because after that, I lose count. I love the strong proof. I love bourbon. I love the stories. I love the history. Like every bottle of bourbon, there's a story. And as you drink the bottle, that story becomes so much more interesting. When you finish the bottle, what was the story? And bourbon is uniquely American. Did you know that? It has to be made in America with 51% corn and consumed by somebody out of shape. That's what American is. The bourbon community is much more diverse than you think. Like people think, oh, it's just a bunch of out of shape old guys. And that's not true. There's a couple women. It's like people collect different things. Some people collect, cars. Some people collect action figures. Really, bourbon bottles are kind of like action figures filled with alcohol. And they can kind of play it. And they're like, oh no, what? It's just getting out of my life. Oh no, it's gonna work. I have a drinking problem. If you collect bourbon, that means you hunt for bourbon, which sounds dangerous and active, but it just involves going to a liquor store. Bourbon's natural habitat. I love a liquor store. I love the creative names of liquor stores like Discount Liquor, Bob's Liquor. I love how liquor stores know they don't even have to try. They know we're coming. Do you call a liquor store Loser Depot? I'm like, well, I gotta go in there anyway. Maybe that's French, Loser Depot. I've got to the point where now I'm watching YouTube videos of other men shopping for bourbon. Which I understand sounds pathetic, but it's much worse than that. These videos, a guy goes into a liquor store, his buddy videotapes him, and he just comments on the bourbon selection and the price.
You know, they're pretty decent. I think that's all.
I'm watching an alcoholic shop. And these videos are fascinating and informative. And after I watch a couple of them, I realize porn addiction is not that shameful. I read this article. Who am I kidding? I'm watching Instagram. That sounds less impressive. I was doom scrolling, and the algorithm spoon-fed me some propaganda I'll regurgitate. Now, in this Instagram reel, this doctor, I don't know if it was a doctor, this guy with glasses said that every cell in the human body replaces itself over the course of a year. So really, every year we are brand new. And I heard that and I can think, does it feel that way? It must be on the 5-year plan. Maybe it's the bourbon. My body is falling apart as I talk. But don't be surprised if I lose a leg. My body's falling apart, yet I'm delusional about not believing I appear my age. I went to dinner with my 3 college roommates, and after dinner we took a picture and I was looking at the photo, and I was looking at the photo and I was like, how is it possible that these 3 guys look like crap and I haven't aged at all? These guys look rough. And look at me, I appear what, 20? I felt sorry for these guys. It almost looked like I was photoshopped in the picture. Like if you didn't know, it'd be like, who's the young man with his 3 gay dads? I don't understand. When I look in the mirror, I don't see someone in their 50s. I don't like what I see. I just see a hideous young man. You know those movies where an adult goes undercover as a high school student? In my mind, I'm like, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Maybe not freshman, but I can be a sophomore. Walk down the hallway, check out the whiz on that kid. You don't know what Riz is, that means you're sus. I only do that joke to anger my 18-year-old. Some girl said, Dad, you can't do that anymore. I'm going to do it every day the rest of my life. There comes a point in parenting where the greatest joy you can feel is annoying your teenager. It would be fun to go back to high school, right? I tell you, if I did go back to high school, academically, I would struggle. I tried to help with middle school math, and I was like, this is not how I remember it. Did they introduce new numbers? You know, I want you to do this yourself and show me your work. And then I want you to explain it to me. I'm like, I don't understand. And that's hard. I know I'm not smart because I have children. And I'm not trying to imply that people who become parents are stupid. An argument can be made. It's not a great investment. Financially, emotionally, physically. You take a good look at the parent of a teenager. They look like they just walked away from a car accident. I'm fine. Parents of teenagers always sound like they're hiding something. We're good. Like they should be in a hostage video. They're treating us well. No, they're treating us very well. You know the child tax credit? I think there should be a teenage crazy credit. So when you see someone, oh, that woman's bonkers. She has a 15-year-old daughter. Oh, she's fine. I have 5 children, 12 to 20. I feel like I live in a cycle. I'm convinced they're trying to make me crazy. Because when your children become teenagers, you realize then that you own nothing. Everything you own is really theirs. And it's like they're trying to torture you. Like, why is he wearing my coat? That's my coat. I didn't see anything. Why is my 15-year-old daughter wearing my jeans? Where are all my socks? Why am I sticking this gun in my mouth? Is that true? Isn't that joke I was telling myself? I'll never get used to the teenage life. Recently, one of my sons came up and goes, "Hey Dad, I accidentally ordered Uber Eats." He said it in a way kind of hoping I would empathize, like, "Oh, I've done that too, son." I mean, I said, "That's not a thing." He goes, "No, it was an accident." What? He said it like, kind of like occasionally you get a knock on the door, it's like, I'm accidentally delivering this to you. That's not a thing. So what, you accidentally open the app and then you accidentally scroll through restaurants, choose an entree and accidentally charge it to my credit card? How would that even work? Whoops. With fries. And whoops. My teenagers bother my wife in different ways. My wife can't stand how they communicate with her. She'll be like, look what your son texted me. Of course, when you miss it, it's my son. Look what he said. I said, be home by 6:30. He replied, yup. That's rude, isn't it? Yup. Yes, my liege. These children do bestow a pain upon our hearts. Well, you don't want your children communicating with adults that way, do you? Because no. I shan't not. The more I'm around, the less I'm equipped to do anything. Like academics, not my thing. Relationships, not my thing. Parenting, not my thing. I'm a decent gardener, and I like to drink bourbon. I'm tuning into my mother. You ever have someone mistake you for being smart? Recently someone asked me, "Hey Jim, what are you reading now?" Now? What am I reading? I was so confused. I was like, were we supposed to be reading? Was there an assignment? 'Cause I probably need an extension. If I answered honestly, what am I reading now? Menus? Do cereal boxes count? I know how to read. I'm a slow reader. I finished books and thought, I wonder what took longer, me to read this or the author to write it. Reading is, I associate with anxiety. And someone comes up to me and they're like, "Can you read this?" I'm like, "I know how to read." "No, can you read it for me?" "Yeah, sure. All right, give me a week." "All right. It's one paragraph. All right, give me an hour." I'm a slow reader. I don't even like the fact that read and read are spelled the same. That feels like a smart person trying to trick me. I wish I read more. Some people have read all the classics and can quote them. I'm like, that's impressive, but I have friends. And I can quote them. My friend Rob, he's always saying it's 5 o'clock somewhere. How did they determine a book is a classic? Like, did someone finish Oliver Twist and classic? Classic Chuck Dickens. Chuck did it again. I have read one classic. I read David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, and I read it like 20 years ago, but it is the book that I bring up that I want to impress people like right now. And last summer, my 15-year-old, she could read any book for summer reading. So I was like, "Oh, you should read David Copperfield by Charles Dickens." And she goes, "What's it about?" And I go, "I don't know. But it's a classic." She was like, "You don't remember anything?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm almost positive it's not about a magician." I started to, I don't like when people make you feel guilty for not having read a book. You haven't read Moby Dick. I'm like, "I haven't read Moby Dick." Here's what you say, you go, "I don't know how to read." Instead of you feeling bad, they feel horrible. If you really want to rub it in, make them teach you how to read. Takes a couple months, but it's worth it. Started to listen to audiobooks, which feels pathetic. A grown man didn't read to. Didn't read to me. I grab a blankie and lie down, but first I go potty and brush my teeth. But they read to me. After I had listened to an audiobook, I'm always tempted to say that I read it. I read that book. "Oh, can I borrow it?" I burned it. Because you feel like you have to explain why you didn't read the book. Like, "Oh, I listened to the audiobook, but while I was listening, I was reading a different book. I was also sketching with my feet." I'm trying to multitask. All right, let's talk about the eggplant emoji. There's no easy segment. Believe me, I've looked for it. Speaking of eggplants, have you seen the eggplant emoji? I believe the eggplant emoji has to be the best thing that has ever happened to the eggplant. Because you know, eggplant are like, can you believe how popular we are? Listen, people love eggplants. They're everywhere. What's so surprising about the popularity of the eggplant emoji is that the eggplant, the vegetable, is absolute garbage. It's a D-list vegetable. I mean, I know there's probably Italians that are like, what are you talking about? You dip it in eggs, you might probably, I'm not doing that. Mulatto with paper towel, I'm not doing that either. You deep fry it, it's nice. You can deep fry a newspaper with taste good. We have to start being honest with our Italian-American friends, all right? Eggplant tastes like human flesh. And the only reason I know that is I've eaten human flesh. It's not bad, it's all you were doing. You dip it in egg, it's weird. I feel weird even calling the eggplant emoji an emoji, because an emoji would indicate that it symbolizes an emotion, right? Like a happy face or a sad face. But the eggplant emoji just communicates harassment. You see the eggplant emoji, you're like, oh, I hope there's no kids around here. And we all know what the eggplant emoji symbolizes. But I tell you, if any part of my body looked like an eggplant, I'm going to the hospital. And that's coming from someone with a pretty big thrust. How did the eggplant get that distinction? Did it win an award? The nominees for most phallic vegetable or fruit are the cucumber, the banana, the eggplant, and the zucchini. And the winner is, it's eggplant. And as the eggplant approached the stage, this is the eggplant's first nomination. Many don't know if the eggplant is a vegetable or a fruit or a Minnesota Viking helmet. And as the eggplant approached the podium, you know, be all nervous. I didn't really prepare anything. I didn't think I was going to win. I guess I should thank my manager, Alex, and my girlfriend, the peach emoji. In a way, the eggplant emoji is the worst thing that could have happened to me, because I like to garden. I garden every summer. You know, that's right, I'm an alpha male. And last summer I grew all these eggplants, and I couldn't get rid of them. You can't put them in like a bowl and go over to your neighbor's house. I grew these for you. This one's for your wife. You can't do it. Hopefully you had an easy time getting there. This one was construction. And I hate running late. That's a weird saying. Because whenever I'm running late, I never literally run late. Which is probably why I'm late. The only time you see someone actually running late is in the airport, right? Someone frantically trying to get to the gate so they can make a flight. Whenever I see those people in the airport, I always have the same thought. I hope they don't make it. Now that sounds harsh, but how are they going to learn? How are they? I've been that person so many times. Scampering through the airport. It's a public shaming on multiple levels. You're exposed that you're not equipped to be an adult. I don't know how clock works yet! Everyone also gets a good look at your fitness level. That's how you run? It's been a decade, give me a break! Doesn't know that I'm usually carrying a Vikings bag. Did he stop for a Baconator? I got hyperglycemic! I showed up to the airport 2 hours early and still missed my flight. Try explaining that to a gate agent. I missed my flight. Oh, did you just get here? I've been here a while. And probably got here before you did. Did you go to the wrong game? Now I was sitting right there. I'm making it. I actually watched you guys bored. I forgot what city I was going to. I told the game, I forgot what city I was going to. I think she was going to hit me. I try not to being lazy, so but every now and then it's unavoidable, right? Recently I was running to do a show in New York where I live, and I was hurrying down 23rd Street, and I started passing all these people that had their phones out, which is not unusual, but everyone was taking a picture of something, but I was in a hurry, so I couldn't see what it was, and I was so curious, I finally had to stop and ask, I go, what's everyone taking a picture of? And this woman goes, this sunset. And I gotta be honest, it made me realize I want to kill a lot of people. I haven't. I've shown incredible restraint. I should receive a Nobel Prize for all the people I haven't killed. I'm not even a violent person, but that is where my mind goes. You know, when a stranger does something I don't like, I don't think, that's annoying. I think that they should be dead. In my defense, I wasn't angry that a stranger was taking a picture of a sunset. I was annoyed because I knew that photo would be used to bore someone. That some unsuspecting friend would have an iPhone thrust in their face, and they'd have to act all interested. Oh, wow! I had heard about sunsets. I've never seen one. That's amazing. Do you have any pictures of fireworks? Fireworks displays, there's always a couple people taking photos, filming it. It goes where you go to and go, can you stop doing that? You don't need it. You don't need it. No one's ever been like, were you at the fireworks? I was. Can you prove it? Well, as a matter of fact, I can. I think it's fascinating how strangers can get on our nerves. Because it makes sense that it's a loved one or a coworker, but someone you don't know, someone you're not interacting with, you're like, that guy right there. He annoys me. He's gonna do something, I can feel it. A phone call on speakerphone, maybe some talk to text, I can feel it coming. You can do talk to text in private, but you can't do it in public. You're like a serial killer. OMG, so excited! Exclamation point. Can't wait to eat your liver. I don't really think I don't like strangers. I do like strangers. You guys are strangers, and I like you. You know? And we're having a nice conversation of sorts. I mean, I'm the only one talking. And if you responded verbally, I have your removed. And we're having fun, don't we? We like to control the interactions we have with strangers. That's why the airport is so stressful. It's all strangers. It's just strangers. That's why when we go to the airport, you need to leave immediately, right? You gotta go in, you gotta get out. It's like a building that's a porta potty. You just have to leave. Even when you're dropping someone off at the airport, you know, like your only thought is, I gotta get out of here. Sometimes you see people hugging goodbye. I don't even slow my car down. Get ready to jump. Because the airport is about waiting. You go there and you have to wait. You have to wait to go through security. Then you have to wait for your group to be called to board. Then you have to wait for the plane to take off. Then you have to wait for a punchline to this joke. There isn't there. Because it's the airport. You know what's sad? I don't know if you know this. There are people that work at the airport. That's their job. 5 days a week, they schlep to the airport, navigate through security, and then don't take a flight. The airport is their final destination. What crime did you commit in your previous life? And I understand air travel is a miracle. It really is. For we're traveling through the air, but everything surrounding air travel seems unnecessarily painful. You know what I mean? Like, I'm convinced it feels intentional. Like, the Wright brothers, I think it was the third brother. And Wilbur and Orville were like, we're going to invent air travel. And the third brother was like,
And I'm gonna make people take off their shoes.
Wilbur and Orville were like, why shoes?
We can do belts. Let's do belts. I just want people to take clothes off.
Security, that's the hardest part of air travel, right? Going through security. I can't keep track of the rules. Okay, people, now you have to take off your shoes, but you can't put them in a bin. You have to put them on the belt. And if you have a laptop, I'd like you to take it out of your bag and put it in someone else's bag. People become jaded going through security. You see it, people are like, this guy gets to go ahead of me just because he can't walk. I guess that's fair. I could not walk too. Airport employees get to cut in line at security. Out of my way, I work at Cinnabon. Oh, Your Highness, please. I don't even like when the pilot cuts in line. I'm like, hey, Captain Crunch, get in line. We all got a plane to catch. I believe pilots should be treated with respect, but on the plane, I feel like they're treated with a level of reverence, which just seems weird. The way the flight attendants talk about the pilot's talking. Your father's speaking. No one wants to hear from the pilot. The pilot's always like, hey everyone, it's your captain. I got some stuff to tell you that you don't need to know. Sometimes she's like, shut up, Dad. I'm trying to watch TV. That's all air travel is now. It's just watching TV in the air, right? You just watch your screen. Sometimes you check out what other people are watching. You might judge them. Grown man watching Real Housewives. What are you doing? And 15 minutes later, she deserves that. She deserves that. She's real. It's fun when the pilot uses the bathroom on the plane. They barricade the aisle with a drink card. Please remain seated. The pilot's taking a dump. We go through all these layers of security, yet the last line of defense against a terrorist attack is a case of Diet Coke. Of course, the pilot uses the bathroom on the plane because the bathroom in the airport is another layer of hell. I'm talking about the men's room. I don't know about the women's room. I haven't been in there in like a month. But the men's room in the airport, you always walk in and you're like, maybe I should call it. It's only a 4-hour flight. It's a sensory nightmare. Just walk in, you're like, I wish I could see, hear, or smell ever again. I want all sensory calm. It always feels a little haunting. There's a faucet running. The screaming of a hand dryer, no one's standing. If you make eye contact with someone there, they're going to look like they've seen a ghost. You mentioned there's always one guy in a stall on the phone. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah, let's get lunch. I'm hungry. Ew. How long have you been in there? That call couldn't wait. Who do you hold in such low regard? If you're comfortable chatting with them between flushes and farts. You've been walking through the airport and you're beep beep. It's like a golf cart behind you. Right in the fairway. What do you want to play through? It doesn't make sense. Sometimes there's just a random bird floating around the gate. And obviously the gate and the bird's there because it's catching a flight. How lazy is that bird? flights, it's just voluntary for a delay. Would anyone like to sit here for an extra 2 hours? Have buzzers with neck pillows? I'll do it. If you have a neck pillow, if you're at the airport, don't put it on and walk around. Alright? It's an embarrassment for humanity. They call it sit down. We've all purchased a neck pillow. Just press and you put it on. I feel like I'm being strangled by a baby. Connecting flights, always small planes. Have you been on a plane where you can't stand up, you get on, you're like, oh, okay, this is better than driving. Is this an airplane or an attic? Maybe this is the attic of the airplane. God forbid you get a window seat. Oh, okay. I'll just spend the entire flight being curious. Okay. Alright, let's try having a neck pillow. Connecting flights, smaller, older planes. They're all old. It's like we stopped making small planes. We get a new phone every year, yet we're still flying in planes from World War II. Admit it, when you see that ashtray, it's not encouraging. You open it up, you're like, is that a Virginia Slim? You've come a long way, baby. You get that joke, that means you're old. I was on a connecting flight. It only had overhead bins on one side of the plane, so it was very precious space, right? You don't want to catch up with that. And so I got on and I saw there was an opening, so I went to put my rolling bag up there, and the guy behind me was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You put your bag there? And I was like, I was planning, and he goes, you give me a real dirty look. And this was in first class, so I put my rolling bag up there, and then I walked back to the coach. And I turned around and looked at the guy, and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he immediately went towards the cockpit to find the flight attendant so he could tell on me, because he was a bitch. And as he was talking to the flight attendant, I left coach, walked back to first class where my seat actually was. I sat underneath where I put my rolling bag, and he came back, and he was with the flight attendant. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Then he sat down right next to me. And I turned on my phone, and I showed him a picture of the sunset. It's true story. You know who that guy was? You're not going to believe this. You know who it was? Vladimir Putin. Vlad Putin was on my connecting flight in the news. I swear to God. I swear to God. Because you know God's up there like, don't bring me in. Don't involve me in your lies. I swear to God. The only time you should be allowed to swear to God is if you're in a court of law or you're a teenager lying to your parents. I swear to God. My 15-year-old, she doesn't even say I swear to God. She says, on God. On God. Initially, I thought she was challenging me to a sword fight. On God. I didn't know what she was saying. I looked it up. You know what on God means? It means you can hit me. Now, that's only funny if you believe my joke. I swear to God. It's interesting how we involve God in the most mundane legal issues. Do you swear to God that you weren't speeding? Do you swear to God? But you know God's up there like, wait, am I in a traffic court? People, I have things to do. Yet people swear in on a Bible. Put your hand on the Bible, put your other hand on the end, and wave it around like you don't care. To testify, you have to say an oath where you swear to God. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God? You know, atheists are like, sure. Whatever floats your boat. I love that oath. sounds like something you'd have to say to join a second grader's secret club. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so I got dog, dare you? How did the oath get that long? Did it show it, do you promise to tell the truth? Yeah, I mean, not the whole truth, but yeah. No, you gotta tell the whole truth. Can you do that? Yeah, I mean, you don't mean nothing but the truth. No, it has to be nothing but the truth. Can you do that? Yeah, I mean, I guess, as long as there's no religious deity involved. No, you have to swear to God! Yeah, put all of that in the oath. You should come to me with first drafts. I'm a busy person. You guys are nuts. You think they'll remember this night? Because I know I will. I'm not trying to say that I'm not having a good time. I'm having a great time. I just don't remember anything. And I, you know, like my phone will send me alerts 1 year ago today, and I'm like, who's that? My wife knows I can't remember things, so she'll test me sometimes. She'll be like, what do you remember about our wedding? And I'm like, well, you were there. Right? I exert so much energy acting like I remember things I don't remember. Whenever someone says, hey Jim, do you remember? I gear up to lie. And I don't want to lie. I mainly don't want the other person to feel bad, but also I don't want them to try to refresh my memory, because then I have to do that false recollection, which is a whole performance, where you're like, oh yeah, that's it, yeah. And the higher pitched your voice, the more you're like, oh yeah. I don't remember anything. I remember significant events, important stuff, the birth of my children. But if I have to fill out a form with their birth year, I don't know. This is tricky. In my defense, I have 5 of them, but mainly, I don't care. I really get in trouble at my kids' schools. That's where I walk into the school and I'm like, what grade are you in? What's your teacher's name? What's your name? It's like, I swear, my oldest, she's in college. She went to the same school from kindergarten through high school. Same school, same classmates, same parents and classmates. And over the years, parents will tell you this, you develop relationships with these other parents and students. You know, you go through stuff, and so it feels so weird to admit that I don't remember a lot of their names. And I'll still see them once a month, and the only thing I can remember is that I can't remember their names. And my wife, she loves to out me. She'll be like, you remember Dave, right? And I'm like, of course I remember Dave, but now everyone here knows I didn't know his name. So thanks for pointing that out. You ever have to introduce 2 people you should know the name of? Hey, you guys know each other, right? I gotta go, I have diarrhea. Because it's less humiliating announcing you have diarrhea than acknowledging you can't remember someone's name after a decade. I'm trying harder. My 2 youngest are at a different school now. They last May they interviewed together in school. My wife and I were going to go, so we interviewed at the end. And then there was a welcome new families. And they gave all these presentations. And this one woman was so inspiring. I couldn't remember. This lady's amazing. And we met her. My wife was like, she interviewed us for an hour last week. I was like, oh yeah. I'm incredibly reliant on my wife for so many things, and as a result, I choose to be I believe I'm a compliant husband. I believe a happy wife, happy life. I really do believe that. And that's not to say that it doesn't backfire. You know? Like we recently renovated the bathroom in our bedroom, and during the renovation, I was showering in the kids' room. like, why don't you continue showing? She's like, I can't get out of my path. And you know how I responded? Because I'm a man. Sometimes I'm just sort of, sometimes I'll be like, I don't think I'm going to do that. And occasionally I'll be like, I'm not doing this. And these moments of non-compliance at home are affectionately referred to as Jim's in a mood. Jim's in a mood. Oh, you don't want to do exactly what I want? You must be in a mood. And she will tell anyone about my mood that would like to hear about my mood. I've heard her on the phone with friends, yeah, Jim's in a mood. To the FedEx guy, my husband's in a mood. I've got a dog that needs to be trained. And it's definitely a double standard. Like, if I ever made mention of my wife having a mood, there would be a public execution. Of course, she's human. She has emotions. She's feelings. I understand female biology. She keeps track of it on her phone. Men should have access to those apps. We could use them like weather alerts.
This weekend's gonna be brutal.
Big storm coming in. You know what? I'm gonna head to the basement. All right, that is all for me. Thank you so much. Selfishly, I love doing these shows because I do get to hang out and talk with our next performer, who I think obviously is a comedy legend, but also an icon, and really such a pivotal influence on my comedic development, even though I'm 70 years younger than him. But he is exceptional, and I think he's at his best. Stand-up comedy. Please welcome Jerry Seinfeld.